What if numbers aren't counting reality, but revealing how reality moves? And what if Saturn, the planet most people fear, is actually the great cosmic womb that gives form to life? I've been sitting with this in the quiet hours before sunrise, where symbolism gets loud and language gets still. And something finally clicked, and I want to share it with you. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been going into these deep early morning meditations, that liminal space where insight doesn't come as words, but it comes as shapes. And what I started seeing were numbers, not as math and not as quantities, but as motion. It's as if each number was a gesture, a movement, a way energy learns how to become form. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it because it started with the number 0. And the number 0 felt obvious, like the womb, not empty but full. A field, a container, a circle that holds everything without dividing anything. The 0 isn't nothing, it's potential. It's the place where everything exists before it decides to become something. And then comes the 1, the point, the top of the line. Then it becomes a direction, the first movement of intention. If 0 is the womb, 1 is the spark, the moment awareness points somewhere. Then I saw 2. And the 2 was fascinating because it bends. It's not fully curved and it's not fully straight. It's like energy learning how to separate while still remembering unity. This is where polarity begins. Observer, observed, self and other. You can feel the moon in this number. And then comes the number 3. And 3 moves. 2 curves, oscillations. The moment energy starts dancing, the trinity, the breath, the waveform of life itself. This is Jupiter ruled. But then we hit 4, and everything straightens. Lines, corners, angles. The 4 feels like architecture, the grid, the foundation. That moment vibration starts becoming matter. You can feel Saturn whispering in here already. And then comes the number 5. And the 5 is wild because it's both curves and lines, similar to 2. It's organic and structured. It's the human number. We are curvature and direction at the same time, wave and will, body and conscious meeting. And then we arrive at 6. The 6 pulls us back into curvature. It curls inwards like a spiral returning home. It feels like magnetism, gestation, containment, very Venus and very Cancer, the intelligence that holds life instead of pushing it. Think of the symbol for Cancer. But then we hit the 7, and the 7 feels sharp, angular, electric, like lightning. It's the charge, the awakening spark that breaks continuity. And in my body, the 7 felt like electricity entering the system, an activation point. And then something profound happened when I reached the 8, because most people associate the 8 with Saturn. And I finally understood why. The 8 isn't a number. It's a mirror, 2 circles, one above, one below. As above, so below. The moment spirit reflects into matter. And then it hit me. If 7 is the electrical charge, 8 is the division, like a cell splitting, mitosis. The first moment life appears into its form. And it's not just energy anymore, it's embodiment. And this is where my whole understanding of Saturn changed. Because we've been taught that Saturn is harsh, masculine, authoritarian. But when I looked at the 8, I saw something else. Containment, a membrane, a boundary that allows life to exist. And suddenly, Saturn didn't feel like a father. It felt like a womb. Because think about it. What does Saturn actually do? It creates rings, boundaries, bones, time. It holds structure long enough for life to emerge. That's not punishment, that's gestation. That's the intelligence of a womb that says, stay long enough to become real. And when I finally let myself feel it, Saturn didn't feel masculine at all. It felt ancient, like grandmother energy, the elder womb of time itself, the one that carries cycles until they're ready to be born. And maybe part of what we're remembering right now is that the feminine energy isn't always soft. Sometimes it's geological. It's mountain-like, mineral, and slow. The feminine that forms bones, civilizations, and ancestry. The feminine that doesn't rush creation because it understands timing. And that's Saturn. And then we reach the 9. And the 9 feels like a spiral with a tail. Completion with release. The moment the cycle opens again. Birth. And from the 9, we return to the 0. Back to the womb. Back to potential. Back to the great remembering. And sitting with all of this, I had one realization land in my body. Maybe numbers were never invented. Maybe they were witnessed. Maybe numbers are the glyphs of how consciousness moves. Frozen gestures of creation itself. And if that's true, then numerology isn't superstition. It's cosmology. It's the choreography of how spirit becomes matter. And astrology fits right inside that. Because astrology is geometry in time, while numbers are geometry in motion. Different languages, same intelligence. And for me personally, the most healing part of this was Saturn, because so many of us were taught to fear Saturn. But what if Saturn isn't here to punish us? What if Saturn is the reason anything becomes real? The bones in your body, the time it takes to grow, the cycles that shape your life. What if Saturn is the great womb that says, I will hold you until you become yourself? So maybe we're entering a time where we are remembering something ancient. That reality isn't random. It's patterned, geometric, and alive. And maybe numbers aren't here to measure life. They're here to help us remember how life moves. If this resonates, sit with it. Feel into the shapes of numbers. Notice the patterns in your own life, because sometimes the deepest truths don't arrive as answers. They arrive as symbols that feel like home. And maybe right now, we're remembering the language of creation itself. And if you're exploring astrology, symbolism, or deeper patterns of consciousness, I'd love to walk alongside you. You can explore chart sessions, transmissions, and move through my bio link below. Thank you for being here and for remembering with me. We've got this, soul fam. So much love.